another lesson with teacher Catalina. I am super glad you're here. Today, we are learning how to say I like something or I don't like something. We are going to go ahead and get into things like I like hamburger, I like pizza, I like bread, I like meat, all of those things. Can you tell I'm hungry? Let's go right into the lesson. But before we go, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the classroom. All right, you guys, we're ready for another grammar lesson with teacher Catalina. And today we are learning to use the verb gustar. You may think it means to like, and yes, that is the general meaning of it, but there's more to it. So let's go ahead and start so we can get into it. So the main thing that I want to point out to you is that although we use gustar to say we like something, what it truly translates into is something is pleasing to me. Why is it important to know that? Because it's going to change the way that the verb acts. Technically, you are not the one liking something. Something is pleasing to you. Do you kind of see the difference? That is important to know when we get into the actual grammar part, okay? So very quickly, and again, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we have a whole video lesson that I'm linking in the description. These are your subject pronouns. Again, they say I, you, he, she, we, you, and they. And if you need a little review, make sure you check that lesson. The reason I'm putting them up is not because we are going to use them, but I want you to have them as reference. So again, the subject pronouns are here as reference, but what I want us to focus on are the ones that I'm going to be putting here. Those are going to be called indirect object pronouns. We are not going to get into the grammar of them yet. There will be a lesson coming up on that, but I want you to remember what they're called so when we use them, you can recall this video. So with the verb gustar, we will use the indirect object pronouns. Please do not use the subject pronouns. So let's learn those indirect object pronouns together. If you're talking about something being pleasing to you, you will use me. Then we'll go down the list. Te for tú, le for él, ella, or usted, the you formal. Nos for nosotros and nosotras. Os for vosotros and vosotras in Spain. And les for ellos, ellas, and ustedes. So now you know the indirect object pronouns. Notice how they kind of go with the person that is receiving that action. That something is being pleasing to them. So there are two forms of the verb gustar. There is gusta and gustan. Okay, so I want you to now pay really good attention to this. This indirect object pronouns go depending on the person that is receiving the action, the person that likes something, okay? This one's right here is going to be based on the item that we like. If it's one item, it's gusta. If it's two items, it's gustan. So let's take an example here. Me gusta la pizza. I like the pizza. Pizza is singular. But if I want to say I like pizzas, I would say me gustan las pizzas. Do you see how that changed? I still use the indirect object pronoun me for I like, for me. And then the only thing that changed was either singular gusta for one pizza or gustan for those pizzas. Let's say you want to say you like fish, pescado, fish, pescado. What you would do is you would be te. In this case, is going to be used to refer to you like something. Te, we're talking about one fish, gusta el pescado. So the full sentence would be te gusta el pescado. You like fish. So remember in another lesson, we learned the word helado. Helado. So let's see how it applies to the verb gustar. Maybe you want to say ice cream is pleasing to me. Or I like ice cream. So I am the one that is receiving the action. Me, how many ice creams? Good, one. So we're going to use the singular form. So me gusta el helado. Me gusta el helado. But now, what if we had two ice creams? Helados. There's two of them. There's still only one of me. So I'm still going to say me gustan los helados. So the me was still used because it's still me, the one that is receiving that action. And how many ice cream? Gustan. So because there's two helados, and then we put it together. Me gustan los helados. Me gustan los helados. Let's do another example. In this case, let's talk about nosotros. We, nosotros. And in this case, we're going to talk about galletas. Galletas. Cookies. Good. So, we're going to use nos. How many galletas do we have? Yes, more than one. Nos gustan las galletas. Nos gustan las galletas. Good job. Now, let's say we ate all of them but one. And now we want to say we like a cookie. So we still use nos because it's we. Nos gusta la galleta. Nos gusta la galleta. We only have one. So the main thing, guys, to remember here is that this indirect object pronouns depend on the person that is liking something. That person needs to match those indirect object pronouns. But the form of gustar is going to be based on the item that you like. Gusta for singular, gustan for plural. Got it? Excellent. Now, what I've given you is just the simple version of the verb gustar. There's other ways to use it, like for example, when you want to say, I like to ride my bike. I like to read. I like to sleep. And we will definitely get into them, but we will do that later on. Right now, all I want you to do is to focus on using the indirect object pronouns and deciding whether you're going to use gusta or gustan, depending on the number of things you like. Does this apply to every verb? Absolutely not. For right now, we are going to focus on only using those indirect object pronouns with the verb gustar. Now I want you to pay attention to this side of the board. I kept some of the subject pronouns, but look how I added something else in a different color. That stuff, it's called a prepositional phrase. You do not need to know the name of that. All I want you to know is that we can use those extra things to add emphasis to our sentence. Do you need them? No. Could they be on a test if you're a student of Spanish? Absolutely. Could you find them if you're reading or you're talking to a Spanish speaker? Yes. So it's good to know. So let's look at one together. Let's say I want to say, I like ice cream. We already know that we could say, me gusta el helado. But if you want to add emphasis, you would say, a mí me gusta el helado. That's it. You just add those for emphasis. Let's look at one that is plural. A nosotros. A nosotros nos gusta el helado. Remember, gusta is based off the thing that you like. And this is just un helado. A nosotros nos gusta el helado. Now let's look at a plural one. A ellas les gustan los helados. A ellas les gustan los helados. So remember, if we're talking about these ice creams, we could say, a ellas les gustan los helados. But since we already know we're talking about them, we could simply say, les gustan los helados. And that would be totally okay. So now you know how to use the verb gustar. You should be able to say the things that you like. Now, let's talk about what if you want to say you don't like something? What do you do? So if you don't like something, it's super simple. All you're going to do is put a no in front of the me, te, le, nos, os, les. So let's say you don't like ice cream. You would say, no me gusta el helado. No me gusta el helado. Again, if we're talking about more than one ice cream, you would say, no me gustan los helados. No me gustan los helados. So again, the same thing applies if we're talking about more than one person. Let's go again with an example with nosotros. You don't like cookies. We don't like cookies in this case. You would say, no nos gustan las galletas. No nos gustan las galletas. I bet you don't like what I'm about to teach you. What about the word tarea? Tarea, homework. ¿Te gusta la tarea? Do you like homework? ¿Te gusta la tarea? I can almost guess what your answer would be. Here's a little something important that you have to remember. No me gusta or no me gustan means I don't like or something is not pleasing to me. And that would be perfectly grammatically correct. But I want you to think about this. What if I ask you a question? Do you like manzanas, apples? Your answer in English would be no, I don't like. Do you see how there's technically two no's, two negations? If you're asked a question, you have to use what we call a double no. The first one is no, and the second one would be the one that will make this I don't like. So for example, ¿te gusta el helado? Do you like ice cream? No, no me gusta el helado. Now, if you were just talking and you were saying, I don't like ice cream, you don't need that extra no. That extra no is only when you are answering a question, because just like in English, you have to say no, and then you say, I don't like. That's it. So remember, anytime that somebody asks you a question, it's a little bit different. So let's review that really quick. If you want to say I like, you could say me gusta or me gustan, depending on the thing that you like, whether it's singular or plural. But if somebody asks you a question, you always answer the question first, whether it's yes or no. So in this case, we're going to say sí. So we would say sí me gusta or sí me gusta. Again, the only time you would add that sí or that no is if you're answering a question. Otherwise, if you're just stating something, all you need is the indirect object pronoun, the correct form of gustar, and the object that you like. You did a super job today with the verb gustar. So now I can ask you, ¿te gusta el español? And you can say, sí, me gusta el español. Thank you so much for joining me today. You should be able now to say that you like things and that you don't like things. I will see you again next time. Ciao. Adios.